Welcome, travelers, to Anuradhapura, Sri Lanka's ancient capital, and one of the most extraordinary places you'll ever step into. Imagine a city where time seems to slow down, where towering white domes watch over the land like eternal guardians, where sacred trees have stood for more than 2,000 years, and where still waters mirror the endless blue of the sky. But this isn't just a city frozen in the past. Here, life still pulses. Monks gather for daily rituals. Pilgrims lay fresh lotus flowers as shrines, and wildlife roams just beyond the temple walls. Over the next few moments, we're going to wander through sacred temples, royal gardens, and even into the wild, uncovering stories carved in stone and whispered by the wind. So, lace up your shoes and open your heart. Anuradhapura is ready to share her secrets. Our journey begins right here, in the sacred heart of Anuradhapura, the spiritual center of Sri Lanka. This is where devotion has burned brightly for over 2,000 years, and where the most important treasures of Buddhist heritage are gathered in one place. Let's take our time here because every step we take is layered with meaning. Our first stop is a tree unlike any other, believed to be a direct descendant of the one under which the Buddha attained enlightenment. Planted more than 2,000 years ago, it holds the title of the oldest human-planted tree in the world with a recorded date. It has survived centuries of storms, invasions, and change, yet still stands strong, its heart-shaped leaves fluttering in the same breeze that moves the robes of the monks who come here daily. Here's a little insider tip: come early in the morning, when the first light filters through the leaves and the air is filled with the quiet murmur of prayers. It's one of those rare moments where time feels like it stands still. Just a short walk away are rows upon rows of stone pillars, the remains of what was once a massive 9-story monastery, topped with a roof of gleaming bronze tiles. It could house around 1,000 monks in its time. Today, only the stone columns remain, standing like silent soldiers in perfect lines. If you close your eyes and imagine the hum of chanting, the rustle of robes, and the flicker of oil lamps, you can almost bring it back to life. Now, look ahead, an enormous white dome that rises gracefully toward the sky. Built more than 2,000 years ago, it is one of the most sacred Buddhist monuments in the world, said to enshrine a vast collection of the Buddha's relics. Standing at its base, you can't help but feel small. Not in a belittling way, but in the same way you feel small looking up at the stars. Here's a little insider tip: walk around the dome clockwise with the pilgrims. It's a tradition that adds another layer of meaning to your visit. Nearby is a smaller yet deeply important stupa, the very first to be built in Sri Lanka to house a sacred relic of the Buddha. This is where the island's Buddhist story truly began. It may not be as massive as others, but its significance is immense. A quick tip before you go: take a moment to sit in the shade here and just listen to the wind, the temple bells, and your own thoughts. This next monument comes with a quirky legend. It's said to have been built as penance by a king who once forgot to offer chili to the monks before the meal. Inside, it also holds a royal scepter containing sacred relics, which, according to legend, could not be moved once placed here. To explore, keep this in mind. Step close to admire the ornate entrance wall. Each pattern tells a story, and no two sections are quite the same. Leaving the sacred core, we head north, into a quieter world of vast monasteries, ancient learning centers, and forest-shaded ruins that once drew pilgrims and scholars from across Asia. This was once one of the most powerful monasteries in ancient Sri Lanka, with thousands of resident monks. Its stupa, now weathered and worn, still stands among the tallest brick structures of the ancient world. But it wasn't just a place of worship. This was also a great center of learning, where art, medicine, and Buddhist philosophy flourished. If you want to experience this like a local, look for the moonstone at the entrance, a semicircular stone carving that tells a story in layers, from the outer flames to the peaceful lotus in the center. Further along, you'll meet a giant, a brick stupa so large that for centuries, it was one of the tallest structures on Earth. Imagine the ambition it took to create something this vast, using only bricks and human hands. Even in its faded state, it commands respect. If you're aiming for the perfect shot, stand at its base and look straight up. It's the best way to appreciate its scale. Tucked nearby is a pair of beautifully carved stone pools, once used by monks for bathing. The symmetry is so perfect that it feels like something from a modern architectural magazine. Yet these were built over 1,000 years ago. Here's something that'll make your visit stand out. Visit just after sunrise, when the water reflects the golden light, and the place is almost empty. In a shaded grove, a single figure sits in deep meditation, a masterpiece of stone carving. The proportions, the expression, and the stillness are so perfect that you might find yourself holding your breath without realizing it. For a truly unforgettable experience, approach from the front and take your time. This is not a sight to rush. Heading south, the atmosphere changes. The sacred stupas give way to gardens, pools, and ancient retreats that once offered peace to kings and monks alike. This serene garden was once a royal leisure ground, a place to cool off, relax, and enjoy the simple beauty of water and stone. The ponds are carved from solid rock, and channels still bring in fresh water as they did centuries ago. Here you'll find an ancient bridge built entirely of stone slabs. No mortar, no concrete, just pure engineering skill. Once, water would have flowed beneath it, linking two parts of the city. This little temple is famous for its carvings, from elephants playfully bathing to an elegant figure often called the lovers. The rock itself seems to cradle the shrine, making it feel both ancient and alive. To get the most out of your visit, climb the rock behind the temple for a view that stretches far over the city, especially beautiful in the late afternoon light. We journey beyond the city, to sacred hills, forest ponds, and the birthplace of Buddhism in Sri Lanka. This hill is often called the birthplace of Buddhism in Sri Lanka, the place where a royal meeting changed the island's spiritual path forever. Today, pilgrims still climb hundreds of stone steps to reach its summit, where temples, shrines, and panoramic views await. Want to make your visit extra special? Arrive early in the morning or just before sunset. The light is magical and the crowds are fewer. Hidden in the forest is a pond with water, so still it mirrors the trees perfectly. This was once a retreat for meditating monks, far from the bustle of the main city. And finally, into the wild, where lakes shimmer, leopards roam, and nature tells its own story. This park is famous for its natural lakes, which form during the rainy season and attract herds of deer, flocks of waterbirds, and the occasional crocodile basking in the sun. To get the most out of your visit, if you're visiting after the rains, the landscape is lush and alive, a photographer's dream. This is one of the best places in Sri Lanka to spot a wild leopard. They're elusive, so you'll need patience, but the thrill of seeing one in its natural habitat is unforgettable. Pro tip, try to catch this moment. Early morning safaris give you the best chance, when the air is cool and animals are more active. You might also meet elephants, sloth bears, jackals, and an incredible variety of birds, from kingfishers flashing blue over the water to eagles soaring high above. And that brings us to the end of our incredible journey, a path woven through history, spirituality, and nature's quiet beauty. Along the way, we've uncovered ancient wonders, peaceful retreats, and wild landscapes that tell stories older than time itself. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to remember the amazing places we visited today. From sacred heartlands filled with timeless devotion, to quiet gardens whispering ancient secrets, through serene reservoirs reflecting centuries of care, and out to wild landscapes alive with nature's wonders. Each destination holds its own story, waiting for you to explore and connect with. So whether you're planning your next trip or simply dreaming from afar, Keep these treasures in your heart, ready to discover whenever you're ready to begin your own unforgettable journey.